Hi, and welcome to this week's video on the adjustment storytelling type, one of the 4 business storytelling types that I talk about. Hi, my name is Kellie O'Brien, and I'm an online marketing and social media coach, and I help you move your most aligned clients from discovering who you are online through to investing with you. And as I said, today we're talking about the adjustment storytelling type, and you can learn more about the other storytelling types on my website or on the YouTube channel. But the adjustment storytelling type is really that transition in your life. And while there's lots of different adjustment stories that you can be telling, there's heaps of different adjustment stories you can tell. One of the ones that we often see and that works particularly well is the reason that you got into business in the first place. That adjustment from what you were doing before to what you're doing now. And so one of the reasons that we tell this story is that it tends to come back to our why. Why do we do what we do? And so one of the adjustment stories in my business has, I've got a few adjustment stories to be honest, but one of the adjustment stories is going from PR to doing what I do now with online marketing and social media. And you'll notice that I also told this story in the achievement section because it's the transformation. So there's lots of different, sometimes you'll notice that stories overlap, but I wanted to use this one as an example so that you can see that sometimes you can end up with 2 different storytelling types in the one story, and that's perfectly okay. But the story for me, the transition for me, or that adjustment, was going from a really hectic life as a PR consultant, burning out and not enjoying what I was doing, to then realizing that I had this skill set and this knowledge inside of doing online marketing. And the day that I realized, or the transition, the moment when everything clicked, and that aha moment that you have, was I was in a mastermind, and we were at a conference, a retreat we were doing, and the person who was leading the mastermind was trying to explain to somebody in the room how sales funnels worked, and was really getting quite challenged by the way she was trying to describe it, and it wasn't quite coming across the way that she wanted to be able to describe it. And one of the participants in the mastermind really wasn't getting it and didn't understand the purpose of it. And without really knowing it, I sort of started explaining how it was like a journey, that we start at the beginning of the journey, and we're grabbing someone and they become aware of us. Then, of course, we then capture their email address so that we can start that relationship and the nurturing, the email sequence, and then obviously inviting them to work with us, whether that's through a discovery call, and then having a value ladder beyond that where we can keep offering them things, services and offers that we know are aligned with what their needs are. And so we were explaining this whole sales funnel, and I realized how easy it was for me to explain it. And once I started diving deep, I also identified, or I didn't identify, my coach identified that I had this ability to look at the big picture, which is what is the big goal, or the holistic view of what you want to create in your business. What are all the programs and products and offers that you have that you want to be able to create a pathway for people to go through. But I was also then able to drill down to the nitty-gritty, what's the minute little steps that you need to take to ensure that this whole holistic view actually happens, so the action side. And I didn't realize that some people are either big picture people or they're detail people. I didn't realize that you meant to generally only be one or the other, and I tend to have an ability to do both. I didn't know that that was a genius zone for me, and it's kind of where I started to shift from PR, where I really wasn't enjoying what I was doing and I was burning out, but also identifying I'd already started to put a lot of systems into my business and setting up those sales funnels without really knowing what I was doing. It just made sense to me. And so this was a bit of an adjustment that I went through, and I'm really glad that I did, because I now get to work in my zone of genius as opposed to PR, which was my zone of excellence, but I was good at it, but I didn't love it. So now I get to do the thing that I love, that for me comes easily, and as you can tell, I can talk about forever. And so that was the adjustment in my business, and it's been a great a great adjustment, and I've loved that transition from one to the other. And I do what I do because I don't want to see other women having to burn out in their business and not understand that that sales funnels aren't icky. They actually can be quite soulful, and they are designed to be able to attract the right people to you. Because if you're anything like me, in the past, particularly in my PR business, I tended to just put out any messaging, had no system set up, and so I would attract anybody. And you can tell sometimes, even during that first call with a potential client, that they're not quite the right fit for you. And then you start working with them and they become the client from hell. And it's not a great experience. You end up, really not enjoying what you do in your business. So for me, these systems are really sales funnels and systems and storytelling is really all centered around the fact that you can figure out who the right person is that you want to work with and attract more of that person, and actually repel the people that you don't want to work with, because repelling the clients you don't want to work with is just as important as attracting the people who are most aligned to you. So I would love for you to have a look and see if you can find some transition stories within your business. And if you're a bit stuck on this one, make sure to download the storytelling map, where you'll find a prompt in there to get you started so that you can start creating transition stories or an adjustment story in your business, so you can be attracting more of the right people to your business. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again next week.